Hello, everyone. This is Jim Biringer, NHLRumors.com. Please click the like button, subscribe to the channel, stay below, get notified all the time. Official NHL Rumors here on YouTube. Drew Bannister, the next coach, done in the National Hockey League. The St. Louis Blues announced this morning that Drew Bannister was fired as their head coach. Who do they bring in? No, it's not the Ghostbusters. That's not who they called. Who are you going to call? Jim Montgomery, the former Boston Bruins head coach who was let go a few days ago. Back on Tuesday. Look, guy out of business, out of a job for about 5 days, a little less than that. He reunites Claude Julien, both guys Jack Adams Award winners with the Boston Bruins. It's a Bruins feel, in St. Louis. Now, look, is Drew Bannister the fall guy here for this team, not for underperforming? A little bit. However, if you dig deep into this thing, you're going to notice a pattern here. And the pattern is the St. Louis Blues probably should have waited to see who else was available. And I think that's what they were doing, because if you read the tea leaves and you listen to the quotes that are coming out of St. Louis, you almost wonder if they wanted Monty back in the spring and they were keeping a close eye on that Toronto-Boston series. Because the way Doug Armstrong, the general manager of the Blues, was talking, he said he always admired the guy, really liked his work. Respected him as a coach, felt like they needed a veteran guy there, felt that Jim Montgomery was a good fit for this team. It makes you wonder if the Boston Bruins had fired Jim Montgomery in the spring after blowing another 3-1 lead, especially to their rival, the Toronto Maple Leafs, probably would have been out of a job and would have been picked up real soon. Now, you got to feel bad for Drew Bannister here. He coaches, 20 games, and he's the scapegoat here in St. Louis. But it feels like, again, it doesn't feel like they wanted him, because they only took the interim tag off of him May 8th. That was a couple of days after the series with the Maple Leafs was over. So you got to wonder, you start putting 2 and 2 together. Then you're hearing reports that Jim Montgomery and the Boston Bruins had a contract extension. They were trying to do talks. Didn't feel like they wanted to get to 5 years. It sounded like Montgomery wanted longer. The Bruins wanted to go shorter. But was that you were negotiating in good faith? Was that bad faith on them if they only wanted to go a couple of years? What's that say about their faith in Jim Montgomery? It almost feels like Don Sweeney, and again, the Boston Bruins dropped the ball with him, Swayman, and a bunch of others, and they put the blame on Jim Montgomery when it was really Don Sweeney's fault. And now you got a roster here in St. Louis. Guys are hurt, right? You got Philip Broberg, who they signed to that offer sheet. And look, you got to love the aggressiveness or the ruthless aggressiveness of Doug Armstrong. He makes the offer sheets to Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg. They don't get matched. You got 2 nice young pieces in there, but Kairu's been in and out. Robert Thomas been hurt. Guys have. It's just been a walking wounded here for the St. Louis Blues. And you look at it, right, and you say to yourself, okay, well, what's Montgomery going to do? Well, Montgomery's going to bring a lot because, again, winningest record in Boston Bruins history. You look at it, and you say to yourself, what veteran coach can get a group like this, a young group like this, over the finish line? Well, it could be Jim Montgomery, right? We saw what Craig Berube did there. The goaltending hasn't been great. Joel Holford, Jordan Binnington underperforming. Like I said, Broberg's been hurt. Thomas been hurt. There's not a lot of offense there. Torrey Krug's going to be gone for a while. So what's Montgomery do? But he stabilizes the bench. Why? He got Claude Julien there, which was surprising they passed over Julien to go get Montgomery. So again, bring the dots together, bring the puzzle pieces together, however you want to do it. They definitely wanted Jim Montgomery, according to a source I talked to, in the spring. If he had lost, he was definitely gone. So they probably should have just made the offer then, but you can't get a coach out of their contract. There's a price to pay. Now he's free. You pick him up. Again, you feel bad for Drew Bannister, but this is the price of doing business. And again, I go back to the quote, Kelly McCrimmon, Vegas Golden Knights GM. It's in the winning business, not the hockey business. This is a business move. He wants to win. St. Louis underperforming. You lose to the Islanders, scoring 1 goal. Again, your goaltending is underperforming. Jim Montgomery's a good coach. Everybody knew he was going to get hired right away. No one knew it was going to be on a Sunday. However, 5 days later, hey, great for him. But did Drew Bannister get a fair look? Probably not. But then again, like I said, he probably wasn't their guy from the start. They wanted somebody else. They probably wanted a veteran. Could have been looking at Mike Sullivan, somebody like that. But again, when does Pittsburgh make that change? Another video coming on that, along with Lalonde and a bunch of other guys that are on the hot seat. So you almost wonder, could they have been a little bit more patient, similar to what New Jersey was with Sheldon Keefe? Get your guy in there, because it doesn't feel like Bannister was their guy. It felt like Jim Montgomery, who was just hired, was their guy. Jim Biringer here, NHLRumors.com. Again, please subscribe and like this video. Watch along. Have some fun. We'll be back again